Hey YouTube, it's Stormer here. Well, Stormer RT. Just doing a little bit more video on the Amazon oven. I figure I'm going to start off. I'm going to do several things today, and I'm probably going to loop them all back together for one long video later. But I'm going to start with the scan to cook function on the microwave. So what I got, I already opened it, is Marie Callender's pot pie. Scan to cook, they only have just a couple of companies that you can actually do it. Most of Marie Callender's and some company called 365. That's all they have right now. So don't go expecting to get a bag of pizza rolls and just be able to scan it and cook it. I'm sure that'll be added at some point. Now you saw I followed the directions on the thing about removing the top completely, so cook the pot pie, and as you can see the top came off like that. It did not tear the perforations. So okay, whatever. I did, however, I was curious to see if the actual Echo Show would do it, because I know that it can scan barcodes, but all it did was bring up products and not actually scan and send it to the microwave. But I do have the app on my phone, so Alexa, home screen, or not. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this. I'm going to scan the barcode and see what happens. Then I'll put the pot pie back in here like it's supposed to be and cook it, and then I'll follow up afterwards. So I'll be right back. Okay, well, the scan to cook thing was apparently a bust. I don't know exactly what's going on. I brought up my Alexa app, went over to cooking, pressed the scan to cook, but there is no button to scan the stupid thing. I mean, you can show it right in the middle of the thing. It just says searching, and it says scan barcode to cook food. And then underneath it, there's a button for cancel, but there's no button to do anything as far as actually scan. And I sat there for 30 seconds staring at it, and it didn't scan it. So I don't know if it could just have to do with my phone. I have no idea. I mean, I did not have a prompt or anything to actually scan. It just showed the bars, you know, a little square around the UPC, and said scan UPC code to cook. But I didn't have an option to actually scan it. So I may not actually cook that right now. I may just move on because I was using this to test the scan to cook. Because other than that, I can just follow the directions, kind of, if I put the stupid box back together. So yeah, that was worth $3 and something cents. You can't even read the directions because the box falls apart when you open it. But enough ranting about me. I've just been having a bad day trying to fix my car, and it didn't work either. And this didn't work, and something on my computer didn't work. So, okay. Next up, I'm going to thaw out some chicken wings, and I'm going to try out the air fryer. So stay tuned for that. Should be popping up here in just a second. By the way, I would just like to add that in microwave mode, I have been quite pleased with it. It has cooked everything exactly as it says on the directions, the exact amount of time, everything has turned out perfectly. So I guess there's not really any need to actually focus on the microwave mode on this. I mean, you know, it's based off of a microwave. The cool thing about it is all the other features. So I'm just going to bypass the microwave portion altogether and move on to the other ones. Okay, now before I get to cooking the French fries, I am going to do chicken wings, but that's going to be after this. I figure French fries would be a good, quick, easy one to start with. There was a few things I did want to mention about the oven itself. I didn't mention before, because it was the first time I used it. But I've been using it all week as a microwave, because I only really cook on Saturdays. Because I'm pretty much a single guy. I live by myself, so, you know, I work second shift, so I don't really spend a lot of time cooking. I'm by no means at all a professional cook, if that's what anyone thinks. I'm barely even qualified as a home cook. I just grab what I have around, I just create my own stuff. But a few things that, I don't know, some people might be curious about is one thing, this thing does not actually have a microphone on it. I was curious because of the ask you know who button here. When you press that, all it does is automatically make the regular one want to listen. So that's all.
I don't know how to set to that setting.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Thanks, though. Alright. So that's all that does. It doesn't have a microphone. I know a lot of people like to jump in on reviews that have to do with Amazon products, saying, oh, it's listening to you, it's logging you. Well, this actually isn't. Only the device, if you're really worried about that, which I'm not, this thing does not keep track of anything that you do. So you don't have to worry about that if you're one of those paranoid people that think that, Amazon is tracking your every move. Because I see that a lot in reviews on everything. There's always some that jumps in saying, oh, it's tracking everything that you do. And I'm like, well, if it does, go ahead. I'm not really worried about if you want to track how many chicken wings I ate last night. That kind of thing. So it doesn't have a microphone. It's only control. I mean, you don't even need an Echo device at all. You can completely use it manually. It's just handier if you do have one. Because other words, you have to try to figure out what all you're doing. And if you're curious, which I tried out, all the quick buttons, like for minutes, they automatically start off in a microwave mode. So if you have some chicken McNuggets left over from last night, throw them in there, just press the one, like you would in a regular microwave. It automatically just starts off in a microwave mode. Except it doesn't just start, it'll say the 1 minute and then you have to press start. Another thing too compared to microwaves that I've noticed is that this pause button. See, now if I pause it, or like I open up the door, I would expect that you'd press pause to unpause it, but if you do, it clears it out. You don't want to press pause to unpause it, you have to press start. And that, I haven't actually screwed those up yet, but I keep wanting to go towards the pause, and I'm like, oh, you gotta hit start. That's what you gotta do. As far as this, I don't know exactly what that enable remote start is. I haven't tried that. I should probably look that up more. But like I said, I'm still learning this thing, and I'm by no means a professional cook. But I'm just doing honest reviews here, and I'm hoping that everything I do turns out the way I want it to. Because I'd like to be able to give this thing a positive review. Now, there's only been one other person that I've noticed who did a review. He did it a couple days ago, and his review really was not that good about it. But I noticed a few things that he was doing in there, like, I don't want to say anything bad, but he was, throwing in frozen food to whereas ordinarily you would have thawed food, or like food warming, you put a hard plastic cover over everything, but this thing has humidity sensors to sense that. And then he started comparing it to a microwave and how he does that in a microwave. But I don't think the food warmer part is part of a microwave thing. I mean, it probably ties it in, I'm sure, but anyways, I want to be able to give good, honest reviews on this thing. So we'll see how it turns out. So, on to the potatoes, or, well, French fries. Here they are. They're not frozen French fries, they're not store-bought. I had a couple potatoes. I've never made French fries before, so I just cut them up by hand. As you can tell, they're not exactly very even. I'm not sure how much that matters. It was just a test. And I don't know how many I have. I mean, as far as like cups worth or weight or anything. So I'm just going to do a quick little thing, like I said in the manual. I'm just going to ask her to fry 1 cup of French fries and see what happens. And see how they turn out. That might be 2 cups, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll ask for 2 cups. Some of you guys probably have a better idea. Like I said, I've never actually made French fries. And if I would have done them in the deep fryer. But I've always wanted an air fryer, so I want to see what happens. So, according to directions, use the tall rack. Alright, it's kind of hard to do only watching through here. See if that's centered. Oh, that's centered. Okay. Now, another thing. The inside is actually quite nice looking. And when it's cooking, it has like a nice blue glow in there. It's pretty sweet. Alright. Let's move this over here. Yeah. That looks pretty centered. One thing that would be cool is if they had like, say, 3 little divots around the edges, because when you use your racks, it would be nice if you could automatically line up perfectly centered. in like little divots. That would be pretty cool. Now there is nothing. You do have a ring that if you place them right on the outside edge of the ring, it does actually pretty much center them. But you have to like really visually look for that. Alright, let's see what happens and how long it's going to take. Alexa, air fry 2 cups of French fries.
For how long?
I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Alright, let's see if it says anything in here about that. Alright, I have no idea. I've never actually air fried anything because I don't own an air fryer. So, what do you think about... Alexa, air fry 2 cups of potatoes for 15 minutes?
Sorry, the unit, cups, is not supported by that food item. Please try again by using a unit of weight.
That is so funny because it literally says in here, fry 1 cup of French fries. But apparently that unit is not supported. Alexa, air fry 1 pound of French fries?
Sorry, the unit, pound, is not supported by that food item. Please try again by using a unit of volume.
Wow, that's the exact opposite. Alright, let's try this again. Obviously they have a lot of bugs that they need to work out. But, you know, it's brand new. I'm sure that within an update or two they'll have it all figured out. As long as enough people buy these and, you know, report it and say, hey, you know what? Something ain't quite right here. Alright, let's see here. How should I put this? Alexa, air fry French fries?
What's the volume of French fries?
2 cups.
Air frying 2 cups of French fries.
Ha! That's all I had to do. I didn't have to tell her how many. I just had to ask her to air fry them, and then she asked how many, and I said, and then she picked out the time for me. So see how easy that was? You just have to know how to talk to it, I guess. So let's see here. That is 35 minutes. So I will stop this for now, and I will cut back in a bit. Okay. I did want to mention too that, you know, I am definitely not professional, which I mentioned before. And I have no idea if I'm supposed to stop and flip these things. I don't know if it's going to tell me to flip them, which it might. If it does, I will let you know about that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this as someone who's never done this before. And I'm just going to let it do its thing and see how it turns out. Like I said, I really don't know if I have 2 cups of French fries. Or 1 or 3. I mean, I didn't exactly measure them out. They're just 2 small potatoes, so. I said it does flash between the time, and it shows you the temperature that it's currently at, too. So, I said we'll pick this back up when they're done. Or I'll start it up when it gets down to like the last minute, and then you guys can see what I see when I pull them out. Okay, we're about halfway through. Oop, about 16 minutes. I just wanted to add one other little thing that I remember hearing someone mention about, you know, because it's a microwave and oven, an appliance basically that it can like get in the way of your signal, not to have your echo too close. I mean, mine's not actually close, but directly in the living room on the other side of this oven is my modem and router. And I've been out here listening to music. It really does not seem to interfere with it at all. So I'm going to do a quick little test to see what happens when you plug in one right next to it. If it gets in the way of it all. Actually, let's put it right in front. Although I'm not in microwave mode, so I don't know if that's the only mode that might affect that. So we'll see. Now let me put this one on mute. I believe they got the same wake word. just gotta wait for this. It might be connected to the other Wi-Fi. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe it does interfere. Maybe that's why she's not connecting right now. But it always takes a little while. This thing's been unplugged for a while. Alexa, how are you doing today?
Did you ever try to write a poem and it turns out bad, but somehow that's good? That's how I'm feeling.
Well, see, I mean, at least we know the air fried mode doesn't seem to interfere with the signal at all, and it's sitting right in front of it. So that's something I noticed that someone had mentioned before about having your things too close to the system. Maybe I'll test that later and see how well that works. Yeah, she's getting warm. Wow. Yeah, maybe I'll test that later and see how well that works when I'm doing a microwave thing at some point. So yeah, I just thought maybe I'd throw that in there. I was just sitting here watching it, thinking of trying to figure out other stuff that people might be curious about. So that's another thing, and I'll pick up again here pretty soon. Alright, it's almost done. After 35 minutes of air frying. Let's see how this turns out, huh? They're gonna be hot. Now, don't expect them to look perfect. Like I said, I've never air fried before. So let's see what we got here. I get a good grip on that. Actually, that looks pretty good. Put it over here on the stove. Oh man, they smell good. I didn't put any seasoning on them. Usually I do that afterwards. They look pretty crunchy. If they were all uniform, they'd probably cook a lot better. They're not necessarily golden brown like I would expect. But then again, I might have had more French fries than what it said. Actually, they look pretty good. I have to let them cool down a little bit here. Just as a comparison, this is about the size of potatoes that I used. Two of them, about that same size. Like I said, I don't know how many French fries is in a cup. So I'm not a professional. As you can see, this is a cup. So yeah, maybe a cup. I'm just kidding. I know that's not how you do that. Or I'm pretty sure that's not how you do that. But I just pulled these out as comparison. So those two are almost the exact same size, except for one of them was really kind of weird looking, which is why some of those French fries are like really curly and odd shaped. But I just grabbed this guy right here. I didn't put any seasoning on it, but let's see how it is. That one's hollow. Tastes good though. Let's try to break one of these in half. It does have some crunch to it. Wow, it's actually pretty good. I bet maybe a little bit longer might get that nice golden brown, or maybe if you were to flip them over halfway through, which I probably should have done. Like I said, I was curious to see what would happen if you just threw them in there and just let her do her thing. Oh, that's pretty good. Alright, so the French fries turned out good. Oh, they turned out really good. I make a nice little snack while I'm doing the rest of this for the next who knows how many hours. Alright, next up, I'm going to air fry some chicken wings. I gotta defrost them first, so I'm gonna pause this video. I will start it back up and maybe show you the defrost process, and then I'll start it back up again when I do the air frying of the chicken wings. In the meantime, I'm going to salt and pepper those and snack on those. So, be right back. Okay, time to defrost some chicken wings. I actually like this style better than the big chunky parts. But I figured to keep it even, we'll do 4 of each, 8 total. Not real sure how much it weighs, but usually when I defrost this much, I just say a pound. So, I'm not going to use the rack, I'm just going to defrost like I usually do. So, let's see what happens. Alexa, defrost 1 pound.
For how long?
Usually she doesn't ask. Right. Alexa, defrost.
For how long?
10 minutes.
Defrosting for 10 minutes.
That's kind of odd. Yeah, because when I used that microwave, she didn't ask me the time. She'd ask me how many pounds. So I would just say to defrost 1 pound, and then she would just set the time, which I think was longer than that. But, anyways, like it's a learning curve. It's something else to get used to. Of course, then again, the other one had controls, but it wasn't actually an Amazon product, so maybe that might have something to do with why she was responding differently between the two. But, anyways, I will go ahead and get these defrosted for however long it takes, and then I'll start back up when I start up on the air frying part. Okay, as far as the defroster goes on this thing, wow. As you can see, the time says 4 minutes and 16 seconds left. When it hit 5 minutes, it told me to turn them, or to stir them up, and these suckers are completely defrosted. I mean, there is not a solid piece on them. Some of them are kind of warm, but I mean, wow. I've never had any microwave that defrosts something that fast. I mean, I always defrost in batches of 8 anyways, and on my microwave, it would take 12 to 15 minutes, and this thing was completely defrosted in less than 6 minutes. So that's pretty impressive. Alright, now to prepare it for the air fryer, which actually cleans up quite easily. This paper towel, just wipe it right down. I mean, I could probably clean it professionally, but I mean, it would just cook potatoes in there. It's not going to hurt anything. So, I will get these drained and cleaned up, and we'll start up when we're prepared to air fry the chicken wings. Okay, time to air fry some chicken wings. Now, I really hope this turns out well. I did actually look up to see what I should do on this, and I'm thinking about halfway through I should flip them, because I happen to love chicken wings, and the last thing I want to do is ruin a chicken wing. I actually like mine plain with no sauce, but I actually decided to get a little creative and threw on some lemon pepper seasoning, a little bit of garlic salt, and some Cajun spice. So, and see, I got 8 of them. I took the smaller ones and kind of put them more towards the center and the bigger ones on the outside. I think they might cook a little bit more evenly that way, but we'll see. I got that pretty much centered. I did notice that if you take the little stand things and you put them on the outside edge of this clear ring, each one of them will pretty much line up with one of those little wheels. So if you try to line them up, center them with the wheels, and right on the outer edge of the ring, the clear part, I mean, it's perfectly centered that way. Like I said, I wish they had like little divots so it could you could just turn and go plop right down in there. Then it would always be perfect, but it's not too bad. I mean, at least, they have something that can help you determine exactly how centered you are. So, and this plate is actually already completely cooled down. It's only been, it's been less than 10 minutes since we got done with the fries, which, by the way, if I had cut them more evenly, I think they would have turned out better. So I can't, the smaller, thinner ones, they are definitely overcooked, but the bigger ones, oh, that's got a little lip on there, but that centers too. Okay. But yeah, the bigger ones actually turned out pretty good. Alright. That's not even really all that hot in there still either. Or on the top. It'll go down pretty quick. Okay. Let's see what sort of weird responses she has for this. Alexa, air fry 8 chicken wings.
Okay, air frying now.
Oh, sweet. She didn't ask me for any unit to measure or anything. It says 34 minutes, so when I hit probably about 15 minutes, I'll pick back up on this, flip them. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to do that, but we'll see. Actually, I like the way she responded to that one. She was just, okay. Nice. So, we'll see how these turn out in about 33 minutes. I will start this up again probably when I go to flip them, so you guys can get an idea on if they look like they're getting done at all. Like I said, so far, I mean, this thing it microwaves great. It is a great microwave. I mean, you can put everything in here at the exact times it says on the back of a TV dinner, and it does it exactly the way it's supposed to. I am going to try some more baking on different stuff. I do have some chicken legs in there in the freezer. I should probably pull out and try that. Then I can test out the temperature probe. Which is pretty nifty. It looks like a giant headphone jack, but it's actually got a port. You can see it through here. Not really. But there's a port in there that you just plug that into, and you stick it into your food, and it'll read out and tell you the temperature, which is pretty cool. I haven't tried it yet, but supposedly that's what it does. I'm assuming that's what it does, because what would be the point in having a port to stick it in to test your temperature if it doesn't show you what the temp is? So, yeah, so I should probably pull those out and work on defrosting a couple of those legs, so I can do that afterwards too. Something tells me I'm going to be eating quite a bit tonight, or at least have enough food to last the whole weekend. So, I think I was going to say something else. I don't know. If it comes back to me, it'll be inserted right here, so I'll check back soon. Okay, so we're halfway through the air frying process. You're close enough to it. As you see, I just flipped them over. I mean, they're looking pretty good already. I will admit that probably the best way when you're doing this, because it's a tall rack, is to use a pot holder. Maybe pull them out, flip them over, stick them in there, because when you go in there with your tongs and you bump your knuckles on the top of that, it's pretty hot. But yeah, this is the halfway through point. They're already looking pretty good. They smell good too. You can just hear them sizzling. So I'll go ahead and press start. As you notice too, that when it's cooking, every so many seconds it flashes over the temperature, and it constantly changes that temperature too. So like, you know, at one point it might be cooking at like 380 degrees and then like maybe 335, depending on how it senses what it needs at the time, so it doesn't overcook or undercook, it's pretty cool. I mean, it still says like 339, but you know, a few minutes ago it was saying like 370, and then it'll go down to 340, and then it'll go up to 380, and then go down to 330, 370. So I have to admit, I do really kind of like that bluish light. Although it's not actually blue, it's white. It looks blue on the camera, but it does light up nice, and you can watch a food cook. It's not like super bright or nothing. It's just enough. So I have a feeling these are going to turn out pretty good. And I'm going to do a food warming video too afterwards, after I check out these. And I'm going to reheat my fries, and I'm following the directions inside of the manual. It says to wrap your reheat food with plastic wrap, but to leave like 1 inch open on each side for venting, and that's for the humidity controls, to be able to actually sense when it's done cooking. So I'm going to see how those turn out. They might actually could use a little bit more cooking anyways on some of them. I said I've never made french fries before, especially in air fryer. I mean, personally I kind of like them greasy, so I would probably choose a deep fryer over an air fryer for french fries. But if they were frozen french fries in a bag, they probably would turn out a lot better. And those were just raw potatoes that I cooked, so there's probably a big difference on how to cook them in an air fryer. I said I've never done that before, so we'll see. It's a learning process. And all right, I'm going to go in and stop this for now, and I'll pick it back up when they're done. All right, down to the last 30 seconds of air frying. 8 chicken wings. I gotta tell you, it smells unbelievable in here right now. I can hear them sizzling. Oh, my mouth is already watering. I have been looking in the window as they've been cooking, and they look quite good. But I haven't opened up at all since I flipped them. So, 5, 4, 2, 1, 0, and oh my god, that smells good. Holy crap. Wow. Wow. Oh man. That's worth it right there, I'm telling you. I'm not cooking for 12 minutes in a deep fryer, but they don't turn out nothing like that. Wow. Nice. I'm assuming they're cooked all the way through. I gotta let them cool down first before I try. I was thinking about trying out the temperature probe in them, but I'm still not 100% sure how that works. It doesn't really tell you how to use it in the manual. So, I'm going to try that on probably it's going to be my next video, because, well, I still got to do the food warming thing in this one. That's still part of this one, and then I'll be done with this one. But on Thanksgiving, which is only 5 days away, I'm going to do a really good comparison, because I got a 5-pound chicken in the freezer. Well, actually, it's like 5.5 pounds. I couldn't find one smaller. But I'm going to cook a 5-pound chicken in this. And at the same time, because, well, for starters, I love chicken. I'm not going to cook a turkey this year because it's just me, and I wound up throwing half of it away last year. But then I'm also going to cook a 5-pound chicken in my actual oven. Start at the same time, the same temperatures, and see which of the two is better. Now I'm assuming, the oven will probably do a better job because it is actually an oven. But we'll see. I mean, it did really good with the potatoes. Obviously, that turned out really good. Look at that. God, it smells so good in here. My stomach's gurgling. All right. So another thing that people do have to kind of take consideration, that you can't really compare it a whole lot to an actual oven. I mean, although it does the same thing, but I mean, it's a small oven. Which you might look at like, oh, well, it has less space to heat, so maybe it cooks faster, and that might be part of it. But a regular oven is like a 220 volt oven. And this is just a 110 volt oven. But it pretty much accomplishes the same thing. I mean, so far what I've noticed is that although the French fries didn't turn out that great, but I was using raw potatoes. Maybe I was supposed to do them differently. Like I said, I didn't look that up at all. I just decided, hey, just throw them in there, see what happens. But another thing I wanted to add too is, like, one of the comments I had from last weekend's video was from this guy Nick, he was curious about the comparison on how it'd be as far as like replacing multiple appliances, to do RVing or living in a tiny house. And I was saying, unless you got a big family where you do a whole bunch of cooking of a whole bunch of stuff all at once, or if you're like a college kid and you don't have a whole lot of money, and you want something that you can do a lot of different stuff with, and same thing, this would actually be kind of perfect. It's just you gotta keep in mind about temperature differences and different times that it's going to take. As a microwave, it works really great. As an oven, from what I've noticed so far, it works really great. And as an air fryer, it works really great. Except those could have been better. I'm going to use those for my food warmer thing because they're cold now, and I just want to see how long it takes and how well it warms them up, just as a food warmer setting. You know, you might as well do the fourth setting. So, God, there was something else I was going to add too. But basically, so far, I'm pretty impressed with it. Like I said, I don't have like a big family here or nothing. It's just me. I'm a single guy. I mean, well, I have a girlfriend, but she doesn't live with me or anything. So when I cook, it's just for me. And most of my real cooking goes on the weekends. During the week, it's, you know, stuff like McDonald's, Burger King, or leftovers, that kind of thing. Or junk food. Nah, I just eat that after I eat my meal. But so far, I'm pretty impressed with it. Like I said, I still have to try out the chicken wings, but I mean, they look really good. And they definitely look like they're done on the inside. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, they're crispy too. And hot. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm definitely happy with that part. Because that's why I always wanted air fryers for chicken wings. So, I'm sure they might have a couple of bugs to work out. Like, you know, when we were kind of battling back and forth about volumes, and then she asked for weight, and then I tell her the weight, and then she asked for the volume, and then she doesn't know. But then I just reworded it, and then she's like, okay. So, she didn't have any issues with the chicken wings, which I'm very proud of because chicken wings are my favorite food. So as long as I don't have to fight with her on weights or anything like that, just say, hey, cook 8 chicken wings. She's like, okay, ding, and then it just starts cooking them, then that's great. So, all right, on to, yeah, it's still pretty warm in there. Probably shouldn't have touched that. God, maybe I should let this cool down a little bit before I do the food warmer thing, because it might offset everything. I want to do like a realistic thing. So I'm going to pause this video, and once that cools down, I will start it back up, and I'll toss those in there for food warm, see how long it takes, see how well its humidity and temperature sensors work. Because it did say specifically in the manual to wrap it with plastic wrap, but it said specifically to leave a 1-inch gap on each side here for ventilation, which I'm assuming is probably so that it can pick up the humidity coming out, so they can tell how close they are to being warmed, which makes perfect sense. So I will pick this video up. In fact, well, it's going to be instantaneous for you guys, but once this cools down in here to a reasonable temperature, then I'll pick it back up, throw those in there, see how long it takes, and see how warm they are. I'm sure they won't be crispy at all, but you know, French fries never are when you rewarm them. So I'll be right back. Okay, seems to have cooled down a bit now. Yeah, at least enough. Let's try out this reheating thing. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to ask for here. So there is an auto reheat button. I'm kind of curious about that. But I kind of want to keep most of these videos based off of you know who doing the controlling. So Alexa, reheat.
For how long?
I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, I figured she wouldn't answer. Alexa, reheat French fries.
For how long?
Oh, reheat. I should do. Yeah, reheat. That's what I wanted. Yeah.
For how long?
5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe it'll just kick off when it... I wonder if there was something on the reheat. But anyway, that's the last part for this video. But I just wanted to say that those chicken wings are unbelievable. It was worth the money right there, because I love chicken wings. I mean, I haven't even had chicken wings that juicy, moist, and tasty in a restaurant before. And everywhere I go, I always try their chicken wings. I mean, the skin is nice and crispy. The inside is completely cooked. There was no pink spots. I mean, it may kind of look like that a little bit on the camera here, but that's just that part that's up near the bone that you usually get in chicken wings. It wasn't bloody at all, and there was so much juice. The actual juice from the chicken was still trapped inside of the wing. I'm like, wow. I mean, like I said, I'm going to do an honest review on this thing, and I was kind of expecting that they weren't going to turn out so good, because I wasn't really happy with the fries. I mean, they tasted really good at first, but then as they sat there and I had a couple more, I realized, well, they would have been a lot better in deep fryer. Of course, like I said before, I probably cooked them all wrong. I've never cooked French fries before, but chicken wings is something I know. And I know these are the best chicken wings I have ever cooked. And I didn't really cook them. The oven did. But it takes 35 minutes for 8 wings. Now, if you can wait 35 minutes, you'll be glad you did. I mean, you can always cook them in a deep fryer for like 10 to 12 minutes, and you have them there. But you don't really have the same actual juiciness on the inside. You'll have like a little bit more of the grease. Sometimes you'll get some of the juiciness if you cook them just right. I mean, a lot of the restaurants, they know how to cook them. So you can get some really good deep fried chicken wings. They're, still nice and juicy. But out of an air fryer, I mean, I've never had them out of an air fryer before, but I am just blown away by those. In fact, because I love chicken wings so much that this thing is worth the money, just knowing that I can cook chicken wings exactly like that every single time. And not have to accidentally forget to pull them out 2 minutes too late and have them be all dried up on the inside, or pull them out too early and still have them be a little chewy and bloody, then have to throw them back in there. This thing will do it the exact same way every single time. So, in fact, I think those things might be warmed up and done. You can see the humidity under the... Well, I'll just let it do its thing. I don't really care if they overcook or not. But anyways, like I was saying, the chicken wings, it's totally worth it. She does a great job controlling it. Like I said, the chicken wings so far has been the only thing that I didn't have to clarify on. I just told her to cook 8 chicken wings, and she just did it. Which really makes me happy because I love chicken wings. And knowing that I don't have to tell her how many pounds or how many ounces it is, just to have her come back and say, I'm sorry, but how many cups is that? That kind of thing. But, it still says a minute, but let's see what we got here. Well, alright, I wouldn't suggest the plastic wrap, because the plastic wrap melted. But you know what? I think I was supposed to be using the food warming setting and not the reheat. So, but unfortunately, fries look nice and crispy now, but they got plastic on them. But anyways, I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention because I was still stunned by the chicken wings. But I am going to do a series of videos on different foods to cook with this. Like I said, on Thanksgiving, I'm going to do a chicken in this, and I'm going to do chicken in the oven at the exact same time. See who has the better chicken. I mean, if she can cook a chicken like she can cook chicken wings, then it's hands down this. But we'll see. We're talking about over a 5-pound chicken, a full chicken. Now, I do remember someone in the comments mentioning about if you can use a roasting rack in it. And, I'm not 100% sure if you can or not, because when I go through the manual, all it does is say, for roasting and other stuff, to use the shorter rack with this pan. Well, that's already cool. Wow, that thing cools down fast. So I don't know if you can use like an actual roasting rack, which kind of sucks because the roasting rack's nice because that you get the juices form on the bottom, so you can kind of baste your food with it, and plus you just get all the extra flavor if you want to make a gravy for potatoes. So I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if I want to try it because I don't want to risk anything in here in case it doesn't work. Plus my roasting pan I think is a little bit too wide. I don't think it'll spin around in a circle inside there. If you had a small one, I don't know, maybe. I don't know if this thing's going to be able to handle having like a flat metal base right on top of the wheel here. I don't know if that would work or not. Personally, I'd say I wouldn't risk it unless you see someone else try it, because someone's bound to try it just to see what they can and can't do with one of these. Like I said, I actually love this thing, so I don't want to risk hurting it, because I want to have perfect chicken wings like that for years to come. But I hope you like this review. Like I said, I'm going to do more reviews over time, probably maybe one a week, because I noticed that there's only one other person that actually did a review, and he wasn't too impressed with it, and he wasn't too happy with it. But I wanted to do it on stuff that I like to eat, and to see how it can handle it, and just how well it does. And I don't usually eat French fries anyways. I mean, when I have potatoes, I always chop them up, and I cook them up, and cook them into something in the crock pot, or in some sort of a hamburger dish. I rarely ever actually eat French fries anyways. I was just doing them for example, and I didn't get around to picking up a pizza this week, which I said I was going to try to do. So I wanted to see how that can handle, because someone mentioned they want to see what it could do with a self-rising crust DiGiorno style pizza. But I didn't get around to picking up one of those this week. I was also going to get popcorn too. But I don't usually eat popcorn. But I was going to see how the popcorn presets worked. But I didn't get around to getting that. I only got to the store once this week, and I bought chickens and chicken legs and chicken wings, and yeah, I think that was it, something else. So those will all be part of upcoming videos. But like I say, stay tuned to the channel, subscribe. I guess there's that little bell notification down here somewhere, yeah, over here, that you can get notifications when I upload something new. But I hope that you like the video. I've been just recording in a lot of different segments, so I'm not sure how long this is going to be. It could be anywhere from a half hour to an hour. I don't know. I'm right now, just on this part, I'm already at 9.5 minutes. So, but so far, let's see how it's cooled down. Oh yeah, it's not bad at all. But yeah, when you're cooking at high temps though, air frying and baking, don't put anything on the top, and don't have anything too close to the sides, because it gets pretty warm. It did say in the manual too to have it at least 3 inches from the wall, which, yeah, it's close enough. And 12 inches from under a cabinet. I don't have 12 inches here, but as you can see, I got more of it sticking out than I do underneath, and it seems to be working fine. I'm not going to worry about it. And there's nothing in there I have to worry about it accidentally cooking. I don't think it's going to set it on fire because it's not that hot. So, I guess that'll about do it for this video. Please like and subscribe. Comment on what you liked, what you didn't like about the video. Any suggestions that you'd like to see in future videos. I'm probably going to mainly focus on the chickens for the Thanksgiving one. But if I get any other suggestions from between here and Wednesday night, because that'll be the last night I'll be able to go out and get food after work. If I get any suggestions that sound pretty good and sound like a good idea, yeah, I'll probably throw them in the video too, because, probably going to have more than just chicken for Thanksgiving, but it's just going to be me, and I love chicken. But if you guys want to see something else, throw it out in suggestions. So, anyways, that'll do it for this one. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was informative. There's probably a few things I forgot to mention I had planned to mention, but I'll probably throw those in a future one. So, take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.